bitterly cold temperatures taking center stage for now. I'm tracking snow chances with a brand new call for midweek snows just ahead.
A tragic discovery in southern Kentucky. Investigators think the cold played a major role in the death of an elderly woman whose body was found near an assisted living facility.
We ride along with Lexington first responders to see how they battled the cold while answering calls around the city.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening. Bitterly cold air has a firm grip on the bluegrass tonight with temperatures in the single digits again. It is a WKYT First Alert severe weather day.
We have updated school closings and delays at the bottom of your screen. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He's tracking the cold and our chances for snow later this week. Chris?
Yeah, First Alert severe weather week. How about that? We're just going to keep this rolling as we stand now right on through the rest of the week and into the weekend as we get the bitter cold tonight. Then it's about those snow systems that move in. First one coming on Wednesday. We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the cold. Comparing right now with 24 hours ago, we're a little colder across the bluegrass region, but keep in mind, southeastern Kentucky, your numbers were just in the process of dropping behind that Arctic front last night. Currently 8 in Covington, 11 Lexington, 10 degrees showing up into Richmond and Moorhead. The number to pay attention to, it's the wind chill. Feels like it is 2 below zero right now in Lexington, -2 into Covington. At times tonight, we'll be down around -5, -6 in terms of the gusty winds. Defender radar network, nothing going on. A little batch of some clouds across west central Kentucky. If we get any clouds tonight, that'll keep your temperatures up around 8 or 9 degrees as opposed to 2 or 3. Now we focus on a midweek snow system. Look at the swath of snow already beginning to fire up Nebraska toward the Dakotas. That is with an area of low pressure. It's a weak one. It's not the strongest system in the world, but it is going to increase the moisture supply to the north of that. Brand new call for snowfall across central and eastern Kentucky. And compared to what we were talking about with that first call a little earlier this evening, guys, numbers are a little higher, and I've adjusted the totals higher a little farther east and northeast with a swath across western Kentucky and the southern parts of the area that could be totaling 3 to as much as 6 inches of snow. So that system is looking a little more prominent as of now. Then there's a storm system coming behind that for Friday into Saturday that may throw a lot of different weather our way, and things could get a little crazy with that. We'll break down this busy week of winter weather when I come back in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. The cold weather turned tragic in southern Kentucky this morning. The Laurel County coroner says a 95-year-old woman died from being out in the cold for too long.
The coroner says the woman walked away from the Laurel Village assisted living community in London. She was later found dead outside a nearby home. Our Garrett Weimer continues our First Alert weather team coverage with the latest on this investigation.
It was the kind of cold that doesn't take long to hurt.
It was needles, pins and needles. The cold weather was very cold.
The coroner says it was that cold that killed 95-year-old Dorothy McKnight. He says McKnight was found dead around 9 a.m., only about 100 yards away from the assisted living community where she lived.
Looked out the door and saw policemen and cruisers down the sidewalk, and their lights were on, and we wondered what was going on. We didn't know what happened.
Neighbors told me it's really not that common for them to see folks who live at Laurel Village walking down the sidewalk near their homes here on Mill Street. But they say this time they wish they knew someone was. Investigators say it appears McKnight died of exposure to the cold after falling off of someone's porch. Later, we knocked on the door of that house, but folks inside did not have anything to say. Neighbors, though, told us they wish they could have done something, anything, to save her.
I just hope she didn't feel any pain when she died, that's all.
In London, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Very sad. The coroner says McKnight was not dressed for cold weather. Police say that they believe she had Alzheimer's.
It is dangerous for anyone to be out in the cold for very long, and it's even worse for people who have to work outside. Tonight, Monique Blair rode along with Lexington firefighters and paramedics to see how they're handling the bitterly cold temperatures. She's live at Fire Station 1 in Lexington. Monique?
Well, Amber, at any moment of the day, Lexington firefighters could be called out to a scene. Oftentimes, that means spending several hours outside. So today I found out what that means and how they deal with these extreme conditions. We were only at fire station number 1 a few minutes before they got the call. The call was for a busted pipe.
Any exposed pipes, any exposed to these cold temperatures for a given amount of time, that static water can freeze.
Battalion Chief Jeff Nance says the calls they get this time of year in these types of temperatures don't really change from the calls they respond to, say, in the summer.
The difference for us in this kind of weather, with a subject down or a missing person, it becomes more urgent for us because of the temperature.
But this icy air doesn't only affect the people these firefighters are helping.
We're not truly superheroes, so the weather impacts us just like it does anybody else.
The gear firefighters wear provides thermal protection from the heat of the fire, but it doesn't provide much insulation. And on top of that, once there's a fire, that means there's also water.
So then when you put it out, you've turned all that water into steam. It's come back on you. It suddenly starts getting cold in there. It's cold outside. Now you're wet, you're cold.
So although they may not be actual superheroes,
both extremes, really cold and really hot, have a drastic impact on what we do.
they are still saving lives every day, sometimes in very difficult conditions. Now, the Lexington Fire Department also has a trailer that has heaters on it. They bring that trailer to scenes they know they'll be at for several hours, and it's used as a means to also help crews warm up. I'm reporting live in Lexington. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Stay on top of winter weather and traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
While services were going on at 3 Whitley County churches yesterday, burglars decided to break into cars in the parking lot. Surveillance video from Goldbug Baptist Church shows a man in a blue minivan pulling up to a car, then smashing the driver's side window. Police say cars were also broken into at Main Street Baptist Church and Free Will Baptist Church.
Church is one place you can go, kind of refuge, you know, you can be at peace, but it's not that way anymore.
The Whitley County Sheriff's Office says some purses and cell phones were stolen from the cars. So far, deputies have not made any arrests in the case.
New tonight, a dog survived after police say someone put him in the trash compactor of a Louisville apartment complex. Police say when a maintenance worker tried to use the compactor over the weekend, it jammed. When he looked inside it, he found the dog in an empty cage. Louisville police say the dog was hungry but otherwise okay. He's now with Animal Services. Police say the dog does not have a microchip or any kind of identification. Police are trying to figure out who owns the animal. Some Richmond police officers want to honor one of their own in the nation's capital, but they need your help to make it happen. Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis was killed in the line of duty back in November. His name will be added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. in May. Richmond police want to send some officers to the ceremony, so the Madison County Fraternal Order of Police and Richmond Police will host a pancake breakfast the morning of February 27th at First Baptist Church on the bypass. The money raised will be used for that trip.
Despite the cold temperatures out there, thousands of people honored Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a march in downtown Lexington earlier this morning. Organizers say in the 40-year history of the march, they've never canceled it because of the cold. Following the march, actor and activist Danny Glover spoke at a commemorative program at Heritage Hall.
Dr. King was here today with us. He would be out there talking about mass incarceration. He'd be out here talking about climate change and global warming. He'd be talking about every main issue. He'd be out there with these young people.
Glover has served as a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Development Program. Right now, he's a UNICEF ambassador.
The co-founder of one of America's most popular 70s-era bands has died.
Family members say the Eagles' Glenn Frey died at his home of complications from colitis and pneumonia. He was 67 years old. New at 11, Danielle Nottingham looks back on his life.
It's another tequila sunrise. Glenn Frey formed the Eagles in the early 1970s with his friend drummer Don Henley. Welcome to the Hotel California. The Eagles mixed country and melodic California sounds to become one of the most successful acts of the 70s, with more than 150 million albums sold. Hotel California, along with their greatest hits collection, became two of the best-selling albums of all time.
We enjoyed what we were doing. We were serious about our work, we were serious about the songs, and serious about where we wanted to take the band. But along the way, we really rocked and had a good time.
The guitarist and keyboard player who grew up in the Detroit area met Henley in Los Angeles when they both sang backup for Linda Ronstadt. The songwriting team of Frey and Henley penned a long string of hits through the decade. But the strain of turning out hits and touring took a toll, and the Eagles broke up in 1980.
There was always something standing in our way.
After the Eagles disbanded, Frey launched a successful solo career with hits like The Heat Is On and You Belong to the City. The Eagles reunited in 1994. 4 years later, the group was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The shadow of a smile.
Frey released his final solo album in 2012, a collection of old standards. The Eagles were supposed to be honored at the Kennedy Center last month, but that was postponed because an ailing Frey could not attend. Don Henley said Frey was the one who started it all, the spark plug and the man with the plan. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News.
And in a statement today, Don Henley said he and Frey had a complicated friendship, but he was like a brother to him.
New tonight, a Central Kentucky pastor will soon meet Pope Francis. Father Jim Sichko, the pastor of St. Mark Catholic Church in Richmond, is one of the Pope's missionaries of mercy this year. Next month, Father Sichko will travel to Rome with the other missionaries. They'll all have personal meetings with the Pope and be formally commissioned as missionaries of mercy. What an incredible trip for him.